Nachos?
Nachos.
More like nacho problem.
I feel bad for you. That joke deserves the sandbagging it just got. Like, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Dude.
Yeah.
So, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 375.
You know what? I used to stop you from doing that, but I don't do it anymore, so I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah. Alright. The number's actually in the episode for this one, so it'll be easier to find for people, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
After Patience said the number, I immediately forgot what the number was.
You know what? I was disappointed 2 episodes ago when I realized that it was episode 373 and I didn't say a goddamn thing. I actually felt bad about that.
What's the sequence of 373?
It is my favorite number.
Oh,
Do I get to say why it's my favorite number again? Because it is really stupid and lame,
Please.
but I love it anyway.
Please elaborate.
It is a prime number. Every digit in that number is also a prime number. If you add the single digits together, you get 13, which is also a prime number.
that is pretty interesting.
If you chop off one number from either end, you get 37 and 73, which are both also prime numbers.
So, it's a very prime example of a prime number.
Yeah. I was just randomly. I was trying to sleep, if memory serves. I was just like, 373. That's a cool number. Why? And then I just sort of thought this through and I was like, huh. Cool. It is quite possibly the weirdest trying to sleep thought process I have ever had, but it has stuck in my mind ever since. Weird. So yeah, podcast. Hi everybody. It is not episode 373, and I feel bad. But, 375 is still cool, I guess. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's divisible by a lot of things, so that's kind of disappointing, but
That do be how it do be.
So, has anyone got any shit to talk about? I mean, I do, but
Well, I'm home alone. Parents went out of town for 4th of July, and I decided that I did not want to go.
it's fair.
Because, they all finally got free of COVID right before they were going to leave, which, was nice for them. I didn't want to go because, number one, I'd rather just stay home. Number two, the things going on in the political sphere make it so that I don't want to be around my very conservative friends of the family. Friends of the family who are boycotting the Lightyear movie because there's a gay thing in it. So, yeah.
They probably don't enjoy a lot of anything nowadays, based on that criteria.
Yeah, and then whenever we stay at their place, they always put on they either they have like a stream that they put on so that they can watch their church, and their pastor always gets straight into politics, which is something that you shouldn't do at church. Your preaching shouldn't be yelling about politics.
Uh, that's not entirely like separation of church and state is a good policy for governments. Churches have never had a separation of church and state because if they believe something is wrong with what the government is doing, then depending on how devout people are, they should probably do and say something about that. Is kind of the thing. Is how it's worked for the past few thousand years.
It's different when you're going away from actually talking about what the Bible says to talking about your political beliefs instead.
That's a little different, yeah.
When you're not talking about from like an actually whatever. Anyways, I don't want to be around that.
Fair enough.
We did see there's this Elvis Presley movie out. Saw that. It was kind of meh. Not much I can really say on that other than the guy playing. It was Tom Hanks who was playing the manager of Elvis, and he had this like accent that made him unintelligible at times, and he didn't do a really good job.
I heard Tom Hanks and I was like, huh, that is an interesting casting for Elvis Presley. But
no, for
made
the
that
manager.
way more disappointing.
Yeah,
I could have seen it, to be honest. Like, he could probably pull that off, but oh well.
Let's see. Aside from that, been at home working on stuff, playing D&D. I was playing Final Fantasy 14 earlier, doing the hardest content in the game with my friends. MMO stuff. Yeah, it's been a slow week. It's 4th of July tomorrow.
It is.
As well.
I wasn't aware of that until like a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
When other people talked about it. But
And
why would I be?
Also, the season finale of Stranger Things is out, but I haven't watched it yet. They got like one more season. It's like season 5 is like the last one. Been a good season. I'm trying very hard to think of things that have happened, and it's just like I'm coming up blank. There's like an indie game Nintendo Direct, I believe.
Yeah,
That's where they announced.
Thing that happened.
They announced Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5 are coming to Switch.
Yep, such indie games.
Yeah, not indie games. It's third-party games. I get confused.
That game Blanc looks pretty charming.
Which one was that again?
The one with the wolf cub and the fawn.
Oh, yes, that one. That did look very charming. Yeah. I'm trying to look at.
I didn't actually watch this thing, by the way, just so everyone's aware of why I'm being very, very quiet. I would usually be prompting, but I don't actually know what was in it aside from Persona.
It was Monster Hunter DLC or like next expansion thing.
There was a Mega Man.
Yeah, so Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is coming out.
Those are words. I'm assuming they mean something to Mega Man fans.
Yeah. The Mega Man Battle Network games were like on the handheld games, and I personally was a big fan of those games. They're very, very different from conventional Mega Man. Entirely different setting as well. Super cool that they are getting ported. Nier Automata and Sonic Frontiers are coming to Switch. Nier Automata, I think, is out soon. Also, they're doing a remake of Pac-Man World, the first Pac-Man World, which was on PlayStation 1.
Oh shit! I played that.
Yeah, It's Pac-Man World Repack, complete from the ground up remake.
It was okay, if I remember right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Probably some areas that could be improved in the remake, and I hope that they make those improvements.
I mean, it was okay, as in, it was fine. I didn't especially find it to be worth playing, but it was functional. It's
Well,
like, I mean, it was up against Crash and Spyro and shit,
yeah,
so like that's.
I'm personally more excited for the fact that Klonoa's on Friday.
Yeah, that was a thing people were excited for. Yeah.
There's one game that they announced that it was just a minor thing, but I'm kind of interested in it. It was called Railgate. It's basically a tycoon game for trains and railroads.
Hmm. I mean, Railway Tycoon also exists, but you know,
Yeah, but this is on the Switch.
okay, I guess.
You can walk around the house with it. You can big trains on your toilet.
I mean, most of this didn't really leap out at me, but like I said, Blanc stands out the most.
Mm-hmm.
Along with the games, I'm not sure if I'm going to get them. I prefer the trophy collection in general, but I haven't had the opportunity to play Persona 4 Golden yet, or Persona 3 Portable. To have them on a console that I could actually play, it is. I might look into it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just. It would just be a bit. I mean, they've improved on so many things since those games were created.
Hmm.
The joke was, oh, now Persona fans can finally play Persona. With all this, it's
Oh, okay.
the standard joke is that Persona fans have never played Persona. A lot of Persona 5 fans specifically. So
Oh, right, okay.
now they can play the game. Um, yeah, and there's also a
In
sequel.
fairness, like between 4 and 5, it was 2 generations. Like,
Yeah. So, Super Bomberman R2, so another Bomberman game, which, hey, I actually did like that. I like Bomberman. I wish they would go back to more of the silly spin-offs. I liked those.
I played one Bomberman game. It was also a game about monster catching or something.
I
was
don't
a
know
part
which
of it.
one you're talking about.
It was on. I played it on emulator. It was one of the portable games.
I liked the Bomberman land games where they're kind of like amusement parks and you go through and you do mini games. But I also like the classic dropping the bomb style. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff that I don't really care about. Like a Dragon Quest spin-off and
I'm gonna Google this because
a
it's
Disney
bothering me.
thing. Um,
Bomberman Tournament. I think that was it. For the GBA. I think.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's really it for my week. I'm struggling. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was absolutely right. Bomberman Tournament is the one, and you can catch and raise monsters and battle them and such, and it was weird. It was okay, I guess. That is the only Bomberman game I have played.
Nice.
Speaking of things that I played, because apparently Zero's week is over.
Yeah, it's over. I got nothing.
Yeah. So Steam sale's happening. Yeah, that's a whole
What'd you
thing.
get?
I purchased 4 games. Uh, I intend to play one of them probably.
Really?
Okay, to put some perspective on that, I purchased Sea of Thieves on an impulse because some of that stuff that's going to be in it soon sounded cool, and I was like, I should give it a shot. So since it was cheap, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give it a go at some point. I purchased God of War because honestly, at this point, I don't give a shit about having a console. Like, Nintendo will be Nintendo and they won't port anything ever. So I'll have one of those, fine. But Sony are putting everything on PC. Great. My PC is better than any PlayStation that exists. So I'm fine with that. I will just purchase the games on PC and be fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. Make your money. Yeah, so I have that. I may or may not play it. I did play it to completion on the hardest difficulty, so it's if I feel like it, I will go back to it at some point. I purchased Raft because I've always thought that game looked kind of cool. It is apparently complete now, and has a full story campaign and such that I would love to get into. Unfortunately, it doesn't have controller support, so I'm going to wait for them to add that.
Okay.
I've had my eyes on that game for a while as well. It looks like a lot of fun, but I can't play it on my computer.
Yeah. They have said that they intend to add controller support. They have said that for quite a while, apparently, but, the game is finished, so hopefully they will actually get around to doing that instead of just writing the game off and saying it's done. Who knows?
No, I meant it's not that I can't play it with my keyboard, it's that I can't play it with my
I
Mac.
was talking about my problem with it, not yours.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah, that there have been occasions in the past where games have been complete but have not had controller support, and then it gets added later anyway. Like I think Terraria did that, and Stardew Valley, when it got ported, got more robust controller support. Even though I don't use it, I just use the old system that was not really designed for it, but it works better for me, so I'm fine with that. And the fourth game that I purchased that I did intend to play and have been playing is Jedi Fallen Order.
Ooh.
The worst thing I can say about that game is Origin. Fuck you, EA. Just want to get that out there. I didn't buy the game on your shitty platform because I didn't want to use your shitty platform. So when I purchase the game elsewhere than your shitty platform and I install it, and then you demand that I install your shitty platform that I never want to use anyway.
Oh, that sucks.
So I had to find my Origin details from when I actually used it way back in the day because EA used to only have their games on Origin. That went great for them. Clearly, because their games aren't just on Origin anymore. Yeah, so I had to, do that, reset my password because I had no idea what it fucking was. Like, why would I? Finally managed to log in, and hey, Origin has its own fucking in-game overlay that is on by default and will pop up telling you, hey, you should check out the in-game overlay in a bright white box that you can't ignore. And then when you get like achievements or trophies or whatever they call it on Origin, it will have a nice bright white box on it that you can't ignore that will completely break your immersion every time it happens.
Well, putting it mildly, that sounds frustrating.
A little bit. So I had to basically faff about with Origin settings for about half an hour trying to get it to just shut the fuck up and leave me alone so I can enjoy the game I bought. Once again, one final time, fuck off, EA. No one gives a shit about Origin and no one ever will. That being said, the game is quite fun. Now that we've got all that other shit out of the way.
It is a fun game. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. I played on console, so I didn't have to deal with Origin.
Imagine that.
So I didn't even know that this was a huge issue.
Yeah, so that is a fun game. I started on the highest difficulty, as I tend to. I will do that, and if it kicks my ass, then I will put it down. It did kick my ass a little bit, but I got used to it, and it just feels kind of like a Dark Souls game with a little bit more freeform combat, which, fair enough.
Yeah, it's very it is a Souls-like Star Wars game.
Yeah. It is very satisfying when you get the parry timing down with, the technique that lets you just parry once for a laser blast and it just parries everything forever until people stop shooting at you. That is very satisfying to do. Just one guy tries to shoot you, you deflect it back at him, and then every single shot deflects back at everyone else and everyone dies instantly. It's very satisfying.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm still getting to grips with the combat and stuff. Parries are probably the trickiest part of it for melee combat because, playing on the highest difficulty and the timing window for a proper parry is quite small for the hardest difficulty. That is one of the things that it changed. So I don't see enemies frequently enough that I get an idea of their parry timing window and their attack animations. So, you know how Dark Souls tends to go. They'll have 3-4 different enemy types for a zone, and you will get used to fighting them because you just see them so freaking often. It's not quite that conveniently designed for Fallen Order. The stormtroopers all fight in different manners, and it will have 6 types of very slightly different appearances, and they have different attack animations, so it's kind of a little tricky to get an idea of those. But that's fine. Parries aren't really essential to the gameplay, so that's fine. I can work around them and try and gradually get to grips with them as the game goes on.
Yeah. And the boss fights in general are also I don't know if you've gotten to any but the boss fights are fun.
I feel like I have. I am back on Zepho for the second time.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember. It's been a while since I played that game, so I'm trying to remember everything.
I'm trying to think what I would consider a boss fight. I've fought an ATST twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a boss, yeah.
I mean, it has a life bar at the top of the screen. I assume
That
that's
counts.
Yeah.
I actually there's like late game. There's these sort of somewhat random bosses that are like bounty hunters that show up that are really fun to fight. Because they fight like they're Boba Fett with different tactics, as well. So they kind of change it up when you're going through old areas.
Yeah. To be perfectly clear, I have been spoiled on the best moment in the game.
Oh,
It is the thing that basically convinced me to buy the game, admittedly
well,
a month later, but
fair.
still. Uh, yeah. Uh, This is probably a pretty stupid decision. Yeah, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's pretty good. Like, I like Cal. He is a neat character.
Yeah, he's very compelling.
Strangely so. It it's weird because at times it feels like there isn't much to him, but there are little moments of flavor to his character, like, where he starts getting to grips with what he's doing. He starts getting a little cocky, and the game doesn't try to immediately call him on it. Like,
Yeah.
he is allowed to be confident in what he's doing, which is nice. Like so often you see that as, hey, you're getting confident and doing good stuff. We are immediately going to humble you right the fuck now. That you don't need to do that every time, and this game doesn't. So I appreciate that. Yeah. So I like BD1 a lot.
Yeah.
It's a cute little droid. I love it so much. It is my little buddy. That is why it's called that. I'm 90% certain. What else to say about it? I can't really think of that much else. The exploration is a little frustrating at times because, it does the Metroidvania thing of you go through a zone and there are little bits and pieces that you can't do because you don't have the thing that lets you do them. The most annoying being the chests that are in the area, and they are just there, but your little droid broke something like 5 seconds into the game, and you have to wait 3 areas before you can actually get the thing back.
Yeah.
And there's these chests that require you to have that thing. They do not show up on the map.
I remember having that sort of neurosis with, like, I'm gonna have to go back to these areas. Gonna have to go back to these areas, but then you get back to those areas, and by the time you come back, moving through them is much easier, and getting to where you need to go is easier. So
Yeah.
I think ultimately, while it is frustrating at first, it'll be fine in the end.
Yeah. So, I'm enjoying it. Oh, and the one thing that really, really annoyed me. Hey, those ropes could do with being a little bit more visible, guys. Like, holy shit. Just like in the tutorial area, I was like running around in this pit for like a good 5 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck the game wanted me to do. Because it looked like maybe there were ledges I could climb up or something. No. Well, there's a thing over there. Maybe I'm supposed to go to that over these cables. Nope. Oh, there is a rope dangling there that the game does not tell you exists and is like a pixel thick. And it just kind of blends into the background. You're supposed to jump to that. Cool, thanks. That repeated itself several times. Most notably with the ice chute thing that you have to slide down, and there is a rope at the end of it that you need to jump on that you cannot see. You just kind of have to guess. So, that's a bit of a foible in the gameplay, I guess. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about the game so far, though. Yeah, so. Oh, I love the lightsaber customization.
Oh yeah,
That stuff is really cool. Just like the
when
different parts and the materials and stuff.
when a lot of your rewards for like exploring and doing things is, hey, customization options.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wish I could find the dude a decent poncho, which is apparently just what they call every clothing item in the game. Because they all look like shit except for the starting one so far. But, you know.
There's some really good options later on.
Yeah. So, that is a fun game. I have been enjoying it. Are there more colors for the lightsaber?
Yeah.
Hello?
So, that about it?
You're coming through rather garbled, Zero.
Hello?
Sorry, connection issues.
Yep. Are there different colors for the lightsaber?
Yes. You unlock different colors for the lightsaber later on.
Okay, cool. Because I am currently wandering around with an orange one, which is cool, but I would really like a purple lightsaber.
You get to do the build your own lightsaber type thing later on, where you select your kyber crystal and everything.
I think you might have spoiled something for me slightly by telling me that.
Oh.
Oh well, it's fine. It's a very minor thing anyway.
But yeah, you get a complete customization later on.
Cool. So yeah, that is a fun game. It is I wouldn't put it quite up there with things like Dark Souls and God of War that did the same formula. Obviously, you know, Dark Souls is the progenitor of it, but I wouldn't put it quite up there with those games that did it very, 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 very well. But it is still very good for what it is. And I hope they make some very significant improvements in the sequel that I don't know when it's coming out, and I don't even know what it's called.
I think it's Survivor. It's like a Jedi Survivor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor.
I know that the subtitle has the word Survivor.
Jedi Survivor. Sometime next year. That's all we got. Okay. Well, I'm not going to complain about a 4-year development cycle. That usually means, hey, they were allowed to take their time and do this game right. So
they weren't crunched to hell and back.
Oh, they were crunched to hell and back, but they were also given a decent amount of time.
Yeah, thanks.
It's still the video game industry, Zero. What the fuck are you smoking? Jesus.
Oh.
It's funny because it's awful. I wouldn't mind 2024 if they don't have to crunch, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, those were the games that I bought. That was the fun that I managed to have on my week off that did not turn out to be a very good week off. So, you know. Yeah. Dentist appointment, which meant going outside, which meant me being neurotic about having to do that, because that's how I am now. And about someone having to come into my flat next week to, I think it's check the electrics, is what he's coming for.
Mm-hmm.
So, mild neuroses about that whole thing of someone being in my cave.
Oh no, your cave.
Yeah.
Whatever will you do?
Yeah.
You'll be fine as long as you don't let him get behind you.
Gross? Like, I don't even know what you're implying there, and I
Because
don't
then
really
he'll
want to.
attack.
Oh,
The
okay.
minute you take your eyes off
That
him.
didn't sound like what you were implying.
Well, I'm sorry that your brain goes there.
I'll leave that one to the comments, I guess. So, yeah. What else did I do? Nothing. Nothing is what else I did. So, that's there's my week. How you doing, patient?
I'm doing okay. Not, not really much to remark on for me either. Just a few, games I've been looking into. Actually, there is one other thing that I'd like to bring up. Some pretty interesting news, actually. Here correctly, and sequel series to Zatch Bell has been created. The first 4 chapters were published 3 days ago.
Oh man, that's unexpected.
Quite so.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's it's kind of it's a really underrated series. I'll say that. Zatch Bell was came out couple of decades ago. Didn't take off that much in the United States. Took off pretty well in Japan, and was
Had
just
had a cult following in the U.S.
of which I'm a part. It was mainly showing on Toonami, so
Yeah, I like Sash Bell. That makes me happy.
yeah, I liked it a lot myself. And it seems like they have a pretty big story this time around as well. Very distinct from the original story, but well, I'm not upset at all to see these characters coming in, even if it does mean that I have to rethink the One Piece crossover fic that I've been planning for a while.
Hmm.
Other than that, just a couple of games that I've been revisiting. I've reached the end game area of Okami, but I haven't gone in yet. Still trying to track down all the stray beads. And I rehooked up my PlayStation 2 a little while ago, and I've been revisiting some of the Yu-Gi-Oh games that Konami released for it. None of them the traditional card game. Recently, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum, which is familiar monsters, unfamiliar gameplay, based off of another game that was part of the show, part of the manga. It was just it's a crossbreed basically of Yu-Gi-Oh! And chess, just with varying terrains and monsters and such. It's quite enjoyable.
I remember when Yu-Gi-Oh was about more games than just card games.
I miss that because back then they focused more on not just interesting games, but plot took precedence over products.
Hmm.
Well, what you gonna do? It's unfortunately just the way it went.
Once I've satisfied myself with uh, Capsule Monster Coliseum, I'm probably going to hook up my GameCube and revisit the Bat and Kaitos duology. Two two long RPGs released for the GameCube. Baten Kaitos Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean released pretty early on, and Baten Kaitos Origins, the prequel, was, I believe, the second to last game ever created for the GameCube. So it's a bit of a niche game.
Is
I
that the
got
one
that.
with the really weird dub?
I have no idea. I've never seen the original.
Hmm.
Is that the one with a really weird dub?
How am I supposed to know that?
I mean, okay, let me rephrase. Is the voice acting weird, I guess? Like, I mean, it's not an English game. The version you played is the dub.
Yeah. The voice acting seems good to me.
Okay.
I'm not as surprised as some people. But yeah, based on my experience, I like it a lot.
Okay. Anything else?
Not really, just I do have tomorrow off with pay, so that's nice. Yeah,
Oh yeah, 4th of July. Yeah.
yeah. And just been doing some more writing and editing in most of my spare time. Uh, I've been revisiting a Persona story that we've had on the back burner for a while. It's a reaction story, so sort of a tedious thing to get it written, but we'll see how it goes. I'm quite interested in seeing how it goes. So
There is one other thing we can talk about.
yeah,
That whole anime expo thing that's going on right now and such. Or
what?
it might be finished, I don't know. Like,
It's going on right now. Right now they're doing the FGO panel.
cool. You will have to let me know if they confirm that, yes, tomorrow is Castoria. That would be very nice.
Yes, tomorrow's Castoria.
Is it actually confirmed by official
Yes.
sources and not just people saying, hey, the maintenance is going to...
Yes, by the fact that I've had this on in the background, muted while we've been doing our podcast. But yes,
Okay, wicked.
so getting that plus the extreme tier of farming, so we can farm 5-star embers and more QP and stuff.
Good times.
A whole bunch of good stuff.
I might bleed from my eyes if I don't get Castoria, to be perfectly honest. So, I'm going to have 400 rolls by the time we get the rewards. Anyway, other anime things that I meant to talk about, like for this whole thing and not FGO, because Patient doesn't care. The fucking Trigon is getting a new series.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I
heard about
guess.
that, brother.
Sorry?
I said I heard about that from my brother. He's a fan of Trigon. He's apprehensive about this new series following the manga more closely. That is less of more of an unhappy story overall.
Yeah, it's very different stylistically in a lot of ways from the original anime. So I don't know. I hope it's good. I might watch it. I tried to watch the original. I did back in the day when I was first getting into anime. I watched a few episodes of it. I didn't really jive with the comedy of it. In fairness, it was, was when I was first getting into anime, so the idea of the anime version of comedy was maybe a little strange to me at the time. But yeah, I didn't really appreciate it back then, and hearing about how dark and miserable it got later on was very strange. Almost tempted me to actually give it another shot a few times, but I never got around to it. I don't know. I might give the original another shot. I might try the new one and see whether it takes me more. But, you know, I hope it's good. Apparently they're not getting Johnny Young Bosch back to play him in the dub. To play Vash in the dub.
Nah.
Because of Crunchyroll trying to do a lot of their dubbing in-house now. So if someone is going to be in a dub, then they need to be in Texas. It's just how they're doing things now, I guess. But while Johnny Young Bosch is not going to be in Trigon, he is going to be in the Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. That's it. Anime that is starting in October.
They're doing that?
You didn't know?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they are doing an anime adaptation of the 1,000-Year Blood War, and some of the old dub cast will be coming back. I don't know if all of them, but Michelle Ruff and Johnny Young Bosch are back as Rukia and Ichigo, respectively.
It was a large cast, it's kind of hard get.
Yeah, like, I imagine Orihime is going to be back as well, because if they're getting Johnny Young Bosch, then she's a fairly easy get, because they work together a lot, from my understanding. But yeah, they are doing the entirety of the last arc, and they will also be expanding to an unknown extent. There will be scenes in it that were not in the manga, and scenes that were in the manga will be extended to some amount that has not been particularly clarified, but there will be more to it. So people are taking that as it's going to be a more fleshed out ending than the one we got in the manga.
Well, let's hope that they do it well, whatever they do.
I hope so. I feel like there was a lot of stuff to like in how the last arc of Bleach went. There was some I mean, we read that like live on the channel when that was coming out, and there was some things that we fell in love with. I still remember Superstar and fucking oh god, what was his thing? Something of no, that wasn't Superstar. The love dude. That was really disturbing.
The love.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, what was its name? I don't remember. It's gone. But I look forward to and dread seeing him come back. There were also some things about it that I do not look forward to in the slightest, except in a ironic fashion. Like, Rukia fighting the king of emos is going to be a thing that happens. We're going to see how that goes. And let's be perfectly honest, even fleshing out the ending, it's still going to have the same problems as the original ending, which I won't be able to get into in any better explanation than the one that Super Eye Patch Wolf gave. So I'm just gonna suggest people go watch that 4 years later video for why it kind of doesn't work. Or why it's a bit of a letdown. It's probably more accurate. It works fine, but it's, It's very functional storytelling is what I'd probably call it. So it'll still be the same, just longer and less rushed. So I don't know. It'll be cool to watch. That is a thing I can say for certain. And I don't know anything else that is happening at Anime Expo or has happened. Oh, the fucking the VTuber thing that also happened. That is also a thing. And is apparently a kerfuffle.
What VTuber thing happened? I don't know about that.
Do you remember Kiryu Coco from Hololive?
Yeah.
And the whole thing with her leaving and how the Chinese fucking hate her because Google Analytics has Taiwan and China as separate.
Mm-hmm.
They hate her for that. Like, fucking seriously. But, yeah. So she quit Hololive and is now Kason full-time. That is just her thing, her new personality, and is gang boss and all that shit. She joined VShojo.
Yeah, because they don't give a shit.
They don't, but apparently the person who was the artist for Nyana's original outfit and design does, because they're Chinese. And so now VShojo are getting a lot of shit from China because Chinese fans of anything are assholes, I guess. That's just the fucking...
Oh my gosh.
It is very frustrating on many levels. Like, holy shit. Why this inexhaustible grudge over a company's analytics system? Not even the person that they're actually mad at. Like, holy shit. But yeah, that's cool, I guess. I don't really know or care that much about VShojo and all the stuff they do. Like, I keep getting recommended clips for Iron Mouse, but, you know, okay.
She's funny.
Yeah, I just wish my feed wasn't filled with stuff about her and Pseudo VA. I don't care about people shipping them. I don't care if they're in a relationship or not. I do not give a shit. YouTube, please stop feeding this stuff to me in my recommendations. I don't care. Sorry. So that became a little bit of a rant, but you know. Hello. I was having trouble. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. We good.
We're good.
Yeah. So that's a whole thing. I have now said a thing about that whole thing, and now we can just kind of ignore it because who cares? It is an interesting thing in concept, but it's not going to change my watching habits. Is probably where I land on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of the behind the scenes stuff is more interesting. Well, it is the first week of the... Well, it's actually the Sunday. It's technically not the first week of the month. Has the thing gone through yet? I think it goes through a couple of days into the first actual week.
It's on the 5th, right?
Maybe.
I believe it's...
I know I've paid out. I don't know whether it's paid in yet. Zero?
Yeah. It has not. It has not come through yet.
Okay, cool.
So we will have to cover that next week.
Yeah. Assuming we record next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
As soon as we do another episode, or we'll do that stuff and things. Yeah. I'm hungry.
Me too.
Yeah, pizza's really sounding good right now.
All right, so thanks everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 375. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do it through the Discord or through one of the links below. And now the rest of us are out to dinner.
Yay!
Dinner.
You fucked it up. You didn't say the Patreon. Yeah, Patreon link in the description. Bye, everybody.
Bye.